right. Hey, go to live dashboard. Double check things are working. Maybe. Can you hear me? I'm muted. Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear myself. All right, so Streamlabs, I'm working with that obviously still. Weekly update. I have 3 accounts above 50,000. Not much movement overall. Although I did lose 192. I had 2 accounts above 51.1 something last week or this week. I did draw back. Interesting that the account that was down 500 is now up, and the account that was up 200 is now down about $700 or so on the trading day or trading week. 192 being EA 192 was up to almost 51.2 at the end of last week, and I think another one was up to, I think it was 190, might have been up to 51.2 as well, or 196 maybe. I think it was 196 that might have been up to 51.2 as well. They all went under 50,000. As far as today went, I did not trade 2 of the 4 accounts. I automatically, let me bring QuantGuard over here. I automatically locked 95 and 96 before the day even started, because I didn't want to have a bad day overall. I knew 192 was underwater, so I was willing to risk that more, because I'm okay with only having 3 EAs basically is what I'm thinking right now. So if I would have blown up 192 again today after blowing it up yesterday, I would have closed that account out and just kept these 3 up. So I'm keeping my eyes on the renewal right now. I think 4 accounts is too many. 3 is plenty right now. So 4 is what I'm thinking is 1 too many to try to look at trading opportunities. So I lock 2 automatically. I probably always have 1 or 2 locked before I even start a trading day right now is my thought process. Look at this movement today. This market today could be summed up in 6 minutes of time. I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger right here. The overall, you got a 2-minute chart that we're looking at right now. Even the 1-minute chart shows it pretty good as well. So wave pattern related, I got rid of all of my mess today, but you can, I mean, this one's fairly simple in hindsight. And I almost pulled the trigger right here. I almost had an entry to go long above this 100 bar because everything was pointing up. You had your 400 test, and I just don't have enough experience with this chart setup right now to feel confident in taking trades. We had a mean regression back to, look at the 9 EMA, pull back to the 50 bar. We had a mean regression to the 400 bar EMA, and to be honest, I just didn't have the balls. The Jackson Hole Symposium is on today. I knew I didn't want to take a trade prior to, actually, if we look at 192, you can see I actually started on a short, I believe, uh, and opened up with a win today. I didn't have enough balls to take this one on. And we'll talk about this setup here in a minute, why I liked it. Why I didn't have the balls to hold it, though, is another thing. In the end, I was able to pull out my low on 192, EA 192 was 49.4, I believe, is the low on it, 49.450 or something. I was able to get $50 back, I think Wednesday might have been. Anyway, long story short, I was able to pull 155, it says, out today. Less commission cost of $49, so it ends up being about 105, 110 bucks. And got up to 49.6. I'm giving myself to the end of the year basically to figure out how I want to attack the markets. I know I want to attack wave patterns. I ideally want to attack the 2 to 3 or the 4 to 5. In hindsight, you can kind of see that we actually ran, if we would look at this, reason I was looking at shorts, I ended up winning on a long, by the way, but this one was kind of, it just went vertical so far so fast that there really was an opportunity if you missed the 10 o'clock movement. And outside of just simply knowing what you're looking at, in hindsight, I will say you're always right. And you'll ask yourself, why did I not do something, right? So there's your overall wave on the 1 minute chart, roughly. And the rest is just kind of hanging out. Trump is going to speak at 12, so now you're seeing that. Trump is the wild card right now, and you're seeing that right now being reflected. He's a huge wild card. Don't get me started on him. Yes, I voted for him, but let's just leave it at that. So if you would say this is the 0 point, which obviously it is today, you had your 1 and your 2. And like I said, I like to trade the 2 to 3. So I saw it. I actually put this line and this line on the chart, and I was looking, this is going to be a nice area. And then this happened. This surprise happened at the 10 o'clock mark. I'm not really kicking myself, but it's frustrating knowing that how close I was. I believe if this bar here would have closed above the orange line, I would have taken this trade on. At least that was what I told myself at the time. So we closed, the 400 held, the 200 held, and I was thinking, all right, if we go above, everything's real close here, is what I was thinking. If we close this bar above this bar right here, meaning the 959 bar, and we close the 10 o'clock bar above the 959 bar, my justification was I wanted to be long. So in hindsight, I'm not beating myself up. I knew I didn't want to be in a trade until Jackson's symposium, the Jackson Hole, Powell speaking and whatnot at the Fed. I was holding right here. I mean, like I said, this this trading day was right here from was 6 minutes. 6 minutes of trading is the day, uh, from 9:59 right there to 10:04, and then you have the pullback at 10:05 to 10:06 going back up. So I didn't even think about this movement here. I was looking at this movement to start with, and I just like, well, what do you do? Those that are in the know that made the money on that, I mean, to be that close to pulling the trigger, I guess to see it, I have to think about what I was seeing at the time. Because the other side of this was that we could have done that, right? It could have went the other direction down here to S1, because the week itself was roughly a down week. It was, I guess, not really a down week. Now it's selling off here, huh? 5-minute bar selling off. But if we look at the dailies, I'm going back, let's go here. See my trading on the week for 192. There's a nice trade I missed there. I don't even know what that is. 8-1. Just all the trading on. So started trading this on 7-9. It looks like. Anyway, so I've held on to this account for a month and a half. I guess that's the good news. I'm not blowing my EAs right now. The Quant Guard is saving me from me. That's good. So I'm debating about the $600 loss still, and the $300 inter-trade loss. So this is actually a positive. I've held an EA for a period of time that I'm kind of excited about. This is our week, right? So here's the 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 4 down days, and now we see this up day, big up day. So the going back to the 1-minute chart. So going back to this here, it held at 9:59 on the 400 bar. It went above the 200. I think this is the 200 EMA right here, 150, and this is a 9 EMA. So there's 5 different EMAs. It's definitely showing a positive vibe. It just exploded in 1 minute. And honestly, I don't know how unless to be completely honest about the trade, I didn't have the balls to take on this trade after this 1 minute bar formed. I thought that's way too far to take on a trade. The risk is too great that we would have run 3, 4, 5 against me, because I was set up pretty much spreadsheet. Well, actually, just use this. So this was what I set up today with 3R, 4R, 5R, 3P, 6P, 9P. So if I would have went in at 10 o'clock even and took the trade on, I would have maxed out. I would have hit all targets in seconds. It went up. This 1 minute bar went up pretty much straight up in that 1 minute session. So 369 would have been hit real easy. Profit to loss today, bringing over the spreadsheet. Max profit against max loss. The risk was 204. Max profit was 464. Last week I was trading 2, 3, 4 R's. 2 is too close. 69 ticks is too close right now. 3, 4, 5 is where I settled in on 3R, 4R, 5R on the stops. So that is what you see right there, the 204. And that would have been max profit. That would have been 3 contract trading micros, $464 gain if I would have been able to pull that trigger right there. And that would have made my week in 1 minute of a day. 1 minute of a day. Wasn't ready for that. Wasn't ready for this 1 minute bar. I wasn't ready for it. This was 0, 1, 2, 2 to 3. This ends up being 4 point, 4 going to 5. And the reason that I didn't go 4 to 5 on this trade right here was this bar. I looked at that bar and I thought, wow, if it would retrace quickly, that's a $200 loss real quick. You can see that I started attempting the trades here because I looked at this being 0, 1, 2, 3 to here, 4. So if I would pull this out to a 5-minute chart, I'll show you why I was looking at that. So 0, 1, 2, 3 up to here, 4 to here, and 5 here. So it is what it is. Notice that it went back to retest the R2 line. And during this move, I was looking at this. So I'm happy with this trade that I took on here. I took a short up here. And I said that we'd talk about that too. So let's talk about the short, my one and only short on the day, I believe. That I thought if there is a time for it to move down, now's the time. Like I said, the CCI indicator really helps when you're above the 200 line. So you're looking high to high right now. And hopefully you can see it before I even show it to you. So looking at this movement here to this movement here on the momentum indicator, CCI. See, the momentum wasn't as strong on this up move. So a higher high was printed, but it wasn't as strong as this high right here. But you can see that I did take it on right here, but I got it out. I think my last contract got out here. So I was able to hold, 2 got out quickly, 1 got a little bit of money. I think I was up $50 at this point. Then I went to 0, minus 100, and then up on this trade right here. My last trade, yeah, you can see it, 1, 2, 3 exit. This one ended up bringing me back above. But this movement here I did see. And it made sense to me where I didn't have the balls to hold here, because I came in early here and I thought, well, shit, every red bar before this went 1 red bar and then straight back up again. Right there, right there, right there, and here I am trying to take a short in a long. And historically, this is what crushes me, and I knew that going into that trade itself. Let's see if there's anyone that I wanted to. Let's look at the. No one's here. Anyway, so no one's paying attention. That's good. This is for me more than anybody. just holding myself accountable. What I'm happy with on the week is I didn't blow any accounts out. So all of them are green. I got 3 above the 50,000 mark, and I'm still treading water and learning and figuring out how I want to attack the market. I stopped, you can see my last trade was right in here at the 1058 mark, I believe. That was the last one. No, wait a minute. So 1108. So I took, my last official trade was right in here at 11:00. I waited for the 11 o'clock mark, and then I think I went in, got out, went long again, and then you can see the close of the trade itself. And then no, I didn't bother past this mark. I like to be done between 11 to 11:30 on a Friday. There's not much good that happens for me personally on a Friday past 11:30. So knowing that, I locked up 2 EAs automatically, but I didn't even trade them, 195, 196. And I only traded 190 and 192 today. And I kept 3 above the 50,000 mark. I'm hoping, I've got a small vacation planned with my wife. Our last one before vacation, before football starts, for our youngest son in September. We're getting away for a couple days, going up to our camp. So I guess what we can call this week was just treading water. I didn't blow any accounts out. I had some really nice trades. I took one account. I took one account below the 49,000. Yesterday I had the $600 drawdown on QuantGuard closed me out of the account. So I did have one account that went nuts. There was a day this week that QuantGuard was not working, and I closed 3 of 4 accounts and didn't trade them at one point, and only traded one. Like I was talking about before, I'm okay with closing out one of my EAs before it renews at this point in time, and only having 3. So knowing that, going into the trading week roughly around Wednesday, when I made that decision, that was when I was looking at QuantGuard not working, and I wanted to protect myself from me. So I only traded one account without having a stop behind it, and I was able to pull that out from a loss on that day. And then the next day, I think that was Wednesday, and Thursday I had a $600 loss on I think it was 192. Yeah. So this one here, like I said, was above about almost 51.2 starting the week, and it's at 49.6. I believe 190 was at 49.4 roughly. Its lowest maybe 49.3. No, it was actually 49.300. So this one went up 700 on the week, and this one went up 600. And I just had a break-even week for the most part overall. And I'm hoping that I will continue to see the market learn, understand it a little bit better. I did stay away from this move, and I did, the first thing that I took on the day, to be honest, was a short trade. When it was a valid setup, I just didn't have the balls to hold on. That sums up my day today. I was very risk averse. all coming on this mark right now. When I saw this move right now on this one bar, if I was a smart individual, I would have closed the charts right there and said, you know what, this day is for the heroes. It's not for the faint of heart. I decided to wait. I was looking for a pullback. I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for that 4 to 5 move. And this is when I started going after the longs. So I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't execute very well. And that's on me. That's all about me. But like I said in the very beginning, as we sum up and wrap up this video, and I'm going to go now, this day was summed up in 6 minutes of time. This reversal bar coming down on 9:58 to 9:59 to 10 o'clock. We talked about this, and this move going up to 10:04. If I would have caught that, this day would have been, I would have been a total different person. Hey, look what I did. I got $450 on one trade in a couple minutes. I've had those kind of days, and it puts you in a very good mood. I had to grind to make $100 a day, and I was just like, okay, we're done. This is not working. I'm moving to break even too quick. I did everything that I can think of to try to kill an account, and I was able to keep it. So I'm glad that I've got a few days to recover, to think about how I like my chart setup. I do like, I will say this, I like what I see here. As far as, you know, the charts are definitely helping me see the things that I want to see. It's going to take time for me to trust myself and trust the ability, because I'm trading my EAs like I would think how I'm going to trade my PA in the future. So I'm taking them serious. I'm not trying. I mean, I could have bought 10 EAs and traded 15 micros or minis and took on that right here and had a $3,000 gain. But what would I have learned by doing that, other than having to pay $140 fee to make a PA and then put that in quant guard? Part of me thinks that's not a bad idea. If I want to go after one, that might be how I look at one of them. These EAs is just go balls out and see if I can get a $3,000 gain to make it a PA and treat that PA like an EA. Treat that, create one of those to a PA. So I might do that. Just trade off the news and see if I can pull one out of the woodwork and get a nice $3,000 win, and then pay for a PA. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the week. I think I've beat the dead horse as best I can. As I wrap up this trading, I feel pretty good about my overall week. I do like Quant Guard once again to be able to protect me against me. I haven't made up my mind. I guess we'll wrap it up with talking about Quant Guard. I think this is the risk template. So I'm debating about moving this to a $500 loss, this to $250, and obviously keeping that at $750 because of the consistency bullshit rules. So this is where I'm thinking right now. So moving this to a $500 loss, because when you do take a loss, it closes you out 600 plus commissions. So so 250 max here and 500 max there, because I know I can make back $500 and $600. That's why it's there. I just need to have the attitude that I can make. I'll leave you with this thought. This is the thought that runs through my head right now. I don't have the confidence in myself yet to think that I can pull out $750 in one trading day. The best I did this week was like yesterday, where I pulled out $300 and 200. I had like 3 accounts. I had a $300 winner. All of these accounts were below 49,000, except one. It was actually the reverse. It on coming into Thursday I had 2 above 50. Thursday I had 1 above 50,000, 3 below. I flipped that around yesterday. I have 3 above 50 and 1 below 50 right now. So treading water is basically what I've been doing this week. That's it. Let's wrap it up. This is Dave Knight here at Dave Knight Trading, also called TradeCrazeY, and also TradeCrazeY.com. Maybe someday I'll put that together. If I ever come up with something that I like, maybe I'll put something together. At this point in time, if you're following me and my trading, you're an idiot. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Some days I feel like I know exactly what I'm doing. And then you got a day like today, and I'm thinking, I had a plan coming in, and a 1 minute bar screwed up all the plan. All the plan that I had is summed up on this 1 minute bar right here, from 10 to 10:01. And as Mike Tyson so eloquently said in his past, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? If that's kind of the quote that I go with. So I did not empty my mind today and be like water, as Bruce Lee would say. So I just didn't see a 1 minute bar. That wasn't part of my plan today. Just wasn't. And that, in the end, that right there, that 1 minute bar summed up the trading day. All right, I'm out of here. Today was a wrap for the week from 18th to the 22nd. I will be back with an update next week on the 29th. Until then, God bless, take care, and I'll see you on the next video that I put together. I need to wait a couple minutes or a couple seconds before I cut this off, because the stream cuts off. It's fine. Where's the stream at? I always figure out. Oh, here we go. Got the right thing now. All right.